Hello students, and welcome to the next lesson in our AS level psychology course. Today we're going to be looking at Asch's line theory. Asch's line theory was an investigation which aimed to measure rates of conformity. So what were the aims of the investigation? Well, Asch wanted to see if people would conform in a majority view when asked questions about a topic in a certain situation. However, this topic, about the questions that they were asked, was an answer that was clearly wrong. So we're going to look at the experiment which involved the use of confederates. But what is a confederate? Asch used confederates in his study, and a confederate is someone in an experiment that is instructed to behave in a particular way, so kind of like an actor. So now we're going to have a look at the procedure and see how he actually integrated confederates into the experiment. 5 confederates, so 5 actors effectively, and 1 participant were sat down at a table. An experimenter who was running the investigation showed them a line. The investigator knew that there were 5 confederates and 1 participant. So they were shown 3 different lines of different varying lengths after they were shown the original line, and they were put one against the other so they can compare their lengths. Only one of these 3 lines actually matched the original, and they were asked later, after they were shown the lines, which of the lines was matched. The answer was always fairly obvious, so it's not like the investigation may have given kind of results that were based on someone maybe misinterpreting the lines. The confederates all were instructed to answer first, and were instructed to give the same wrong answer at certain times. The participant at the end would then have to answer after all 5 of them went. They would then see if the participant would conform to the majority view of all of the actual confederates who gave wrong answers, or if the participant would actually say what they thought the right answer was, which was the fairly obvious answer. So, this is what it was. Originally, the experimenter has just shown them a line. Then, they're going to show them 3 more lines, and they're going to match them up against each other. They were numbered line 1, line 2, and line 3. Now the investigator is going to ask the people which of these lines closely matches or is an exact match to the original one. Obviously, the answer is 2, because we can see visually here that line 1 is too short and line 3 is way too short. So, which one is it? Well, the confederates may all, for example, say line 1, line 1, line 1, and then when it comes to the actual participant, the participant is going to probably be swayed by them and are going to see if they're going to conform to the majority view of the answer being 1, or if they're going to give 2, which is obviously the answer. So what do they find? 75% of all participants conformed and gave the wrong answer at least once. So we can clearly see that the majority of participants were subject to conformity. They were supposedly subject to compliance. This is because they went along with the group belief without personally changing their opinion of what they were actually doing. And it only really stayed intact if the group remained kind of active. And we're going to look at that now in the evaluation and criticisms of the study. Firstly, at the time, the social climate was different. The experiment took place in the 50s, and in the 50s, people were more inclined to conform in the USA because of political conformity that was going on, partly to do with the Cold War. So if we were to repeat this today, we may not actually get the same results. Also, they were only asked questions with an objective answer. If they were asked personal questions, they may not have conformed. So if they were asked something which is maybe close to heart, say an opinion on something which they can elaborate upon and they may have their own view on, they may not have actually conformed to the situation. Because this didn't test, it's not a true representation of how people may conform. Also, Asch conducted a variation of the study, where the participant had to write down the answer themselves, and the rest of the group isn't going to obviously hear them say their answer because they're writing it down. As a result of this, conformity rates fell, which actually supported his findings, which is a positive point of evaluation of the study. Also, Asch conducted another variation where the participants had an ally. What this meant is when the 5 confederates were answering, one of them actually gave the right answer before the participants said their own answer. When this happened, rates of conformity fell, which is another positive criticism of the study. Here are some questions on Asch's line theory. Have a go at answering these on another sheet of paper by pausing the video, and then hit play whenever you're ready to see the answers. Here are the answers. If you got all of these right, congratulations. I'd advise you to move on to the next video, which will be on why do people conform, and we're going to look at the factors which may influence conformity. As always, thanks for watching, and I'll see you there.